What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about two pretty big PlayStation rumors that were going around the internet today, one of which is the PS5 Pro, and the other is a potential price drop for the disc-based PS5, not necessarily the digital, but at least the disc. So let's go over that price drop first. Saving money tends to be something people like, and I like it as well. So here we go. What we have here is three different locations that seem to be getting a price drop. Now, this is all a rumor, but this is coming from a pretty darn reliable source. And this does kind of line up with all of the other rumors of that other model, whether it is an official PS5 Slim or whether it's something where it's just that detachable disc drive, right? And the rumor is releases in September. Well, one thing that is kind of obvious if there would be a new model, just base edition PS5, is that they'd be looking to get rid of the ones that are currently out, right? If you're replacing it with newer models. So the ones that you have already out, you're going to want to price drop. So three different locations: Germany, which would get a 75 euro reduction, United States, which would get $50 off of it, and then Great Britain, which would get a 75 pound reduction. Now, as some are pointing out, I don't know if it's one or both of Germany or Great Britain, but there was already actually a price hike. So bringing this down in price, it's actually not 75, it's more like 25 as it was raised, but it's still a decent amount off, specifically, I guess, for the US, right? They never raised the prices in the US for the PS5. It was always, $499 or $500, and then it would be $450. So again, it is a rumor, but everything does kind of line up that this would probably be happening over the next month or so, again, to get rid of what they have, because then a newer version is coming in maybe 2 or 3 months. So that's the first story. Second story is the PS5 Pro. So again, something we've also heard quite a bit about. It came from a report on the site Key2 Gaming, which people are trusting this source. Tom Henderson's site, Insider Gaming, did an article on it. I believe Tom himself retweeted as well. He knows his stuff, and he's been talking about this stuff as well. So they said that the PS5 Pro is codenamed Project Trinity, and it's aiming to release in November of 2024. There's some stats and, some things to it. I'm not a technology kind of guy, but a couple of the big things is the performance targets would improve better frame rates or improved frame rates, as well as FPS stability performance at 4K resolution, and also an 8K performance mode and an accelerated ray tracing. And they also say the last thing mentioned in the report is that the PS5 Pro is likely to be the last major hardware release for Sony for the current gen. After that, the focus is expected to shift to development on the PS6, which makes sense, right? You're not going to come out with a second Pro or a PS 5.75. This is it. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this kind of all plays out from a couple of different angles. Number one, many people do not expect Xbox to do anything in terms of countering it. And even if they do, it would maybe happen like a full year later. There are people that kind of expect them to do it, but what it seems like is they haven't been working on anything kind of behind the scenes. So if they do start, it would have to happen and it would have to come out after the PS5 Pro. And then another thing for me is just how is it going to do reception-wise with people? I'm not massively against the idea of like that, mid-gen refresh. Technology continues to evolve. It continues to evolve really, really fast. You think about the console generation and even what we've heard from that court case that was just going on, and really all indications is that this is going to be a long-ish console generation. You probably won't get the PS6 and the next Xbox console till 2028, which would be 8 years after, instead of, I think 7 was the last one. So it's actually going to be a year longer. So with that being said, with the technology being said, right, it does make sense, I suppose, to do something in the middle of it. However, you had the shortages, you had just issues getting the consoles out there. Then the PS5 is out there for like a year or two, and then it has a PS5 Pro. Now, I mean, what I've seen, at least online, even from my own community, right, if it's absolutely better, and if it does the things that people want it to do, and if your PS5, say, like, dies in the next, year or two, obviously you would get the next one. So there's absolutely reasons to do it. If you haven't gotten it yet, you might just jump right to the PS5 Pro instead of just getting a PS5, right? So there are plenty of people that I do think are going to get it. I'm just interested to see how does it do? How does it sell? How do people kind of look at it? Do people get mad that it even exists? How does Xbox kind of counter it or compete with it in any way, right? Those are kind of the interesting questions to me. I'll tell you, I guess I'm in that boat where I'm not getting it. Okay, that's the first thing. But I guess I would get it if, like I just said, the PS5 ever were to die. If my PlayStation died, I guess I would just jump to the 5 Pro instead of getting another PS5. So that's, I guess, my situation. You let me know what you all think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.